everyone, and welcome back to the Stray Kids Dance Tutorials channel. My name is Gabriel, and today we'll be learning Backdoor by Stray Kids from their Repackage album. So congratulations to Stray Kids on their music show wins with Backdoor. You know, with each comeback and each album, they just keep improving, and it's really inspiring to see, so congratulations. Today we'll be using the dance practice video as a reference and learning a little bit of the first verse of Han's verse, and then also the pre-chorus and chorus, including the hook. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm not going to teach the intro since this whole song is very formation dependent, but just to briefly explain, if you want to learn the intro, what Hyunjin does, basically he starts with his back turned towards the front, so he's going to face the back, and then he's going to turn over his left shoulder and start walking towards the front. Okay, so he's going to turn around. And then the kind of point move for the intro is they're going to have their hands kind of adjusting their suit jacket. So the right hand will be on top first. And so they're going to grab, and then they'll do a head isolation to the right, like this. And then switch your hands, so your left is on top, and then your head will go back to the left. So that kind of looks like grab, head. So kind of like that. That's just the point move for the intro. But we're going to be starting at the first verse, so this is Han's solo part, and so he's going to be on the ground, and for him, he's kind of angled towards the right diagonal, and he's doing some head bobbles while the other members do their offbeat hits, and so he's going to have his head kind of isolate to the right side with each offbeat, and that's sort of his point move for this part. But for now, we're going to be following the members, what the members do. And so we're going to be following Lino for this part. So you're going to start out with your legs really wide, okay? And kind of have your knees bent. And then you're going to start with your left hand towards the front and your right hand towards the right side. So this is going to be your starting position on count one. On one hand, then you're going to flip your hands down, so now they're pointing towards the ground. And as they do that, they're going to lift their heels up off the floor. Okay, and then they also do a very slight movement towards the right with that. And so it's going to be one, and then for the next few counts, you just repeat that motion. So it's going to be 1, and 2, and 3, and, okay? And then on 4, now your feet will come down, and your right hand, we're just going to cross over onto your left forearm. So now your arms are crossed like this, and as you move your hand, your head will look over at your right hand as well. On 4 and, your hands will flip upwards. So to review those few counts, it's going to be 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then on 5, your feet will jump in a little bit, and your left hand will kind of go to your belt or your waist, grab your shirt, and then your right hand is just by your side. On 5 and, they're going to lift their heels up and hit upwards with their pelvis too. And then on 6, then they're going to puff their chest out. So that looks like 5 and 6, okay? On 6 and 7, then their head is going to turn towards the right side. So tilt and turn and look at the right side, and then start to go onto the right leg. Then on 7 and 8, they're going to keep leaning onto the right leg and bend the right knee, and then the right hand is going to punch forward on 7 and then punch to the right on 8. So just to review that first 8 counts of the first verse, that's going to be, starting from a right position, it's going to be 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Then moving on 8 and, their left foot is going to step in, and then their hands are going to raise above their head in an X. Most of them have their left hand in front of the right hand, so like this. This is 8 and then on 1, this is where Han says party, and then we're going to be following Han for the next part of the first verse. And the members also change formation here. So this is going to be kind of the swiveling motion with their hips. And so 1, your left hand will go down to grab your belt, grab your waist, and then your right hand is going to be pointing up with your finger pointing upwards like this. And for the feet for this part, you're going to start with the left side. So you're going to step with your left and bend your knee, and then step in. And then Keep going, step right, step in, and then left, step in. And so that follows on 1 and 2 and 3 and. And so when we step, what's different about this move is that when Han steps, he's not fully turning his body with each step, but he's kind of keeping his shoulders more stable. And then when you step, you just kind of use your hips to rotate to get that movement. So it's going to look like step and step, like that, okay? And then so while he's doing this, all the members have their heads looking down, but Han is kind of looking more forwards because he's doing the solo at this part. And then on 2 and he's going to lift his head up as well. But on 3 and 4, he's going to do 3 finger wags with his right hand on 3 and 4, okay, while continuing the stepping. So just to do the upper body part first, it's going to be, after we cross here, it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, and 4, okay? And then if we add that on with the legs and the hip swiveling, we're going to go from here on 8 and it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, okay? Then on 4 and, the left foot is going to kick out forward, and then the right hand is going to swing down towards the left. This is 4 and then on 5, then your left foot will step out to the left, and your right hand will continue the motion and hit out to the right. So it kind of makes a loop like this. So we're here on 5, and then on 5 and, then your right hand is going to come towards your left hand, meet in the middle, and then do a circle around. This is a clockwise circle, and then as you do that, your right foot is going to lift up on the floor. So it's going to look like 5 and, okay, and then on 6 you step back down, 6 and 7, you do the same motion, but now you also add your head will tilt left and then go back. So slowly with the counts, it's going to look like 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Okay. And then after they do this, you're going to do the heel click jump part next. So on 7 and, the left foot is going to kind of step in towards the right. And then the members kind of do different arms, but for Han, he's going to raise his right arm in the air to get ready for the jump. So this is 7 and then on 8, now you do the heel click jump. So basically, after you step with your left, you're going to jump up and lead with your right foot and click with your heels in the air. So it kind of looks like this, like that, very briefly. Even though we can't jump a lot since I'm on the top floor of this building, but some of the members get a lot of height with their legs, so you just kind of want to do your best. And so that heel click jump is on count 8, and for the arms, they're going to have their left hand behind their head, and then the right hand is just kind of pointing to the right, and their head will look to the right as well. Basically, when they jump, they're just going to hit like this, hit that pose, and then go back down. So let's do that really slowly with counts at 8 count. So for here on 8 and, it's going to be 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Okay, kind of like that, even though it's really hard to jump slowly while counting. But that's actually the whole first verse. So let's go ahead and do the whole first verse with counts, then add that on with music, then we'll move on to the pre-chorus and chorus. Okay, so first verse slowly with counts. It's going to be 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8.
Hey, you wanna come in?
다 주워 이제 들어가 좁은 거니까 심 이제 몸 편으로 보내 감당 안 돼 빠지지 애고 어디 여차.
Okay, so that was the first verse. And now we're going to move on to the pre-chorus. This is going to be the second half of the pre-chorus, Chan solo. Since the first half of the pre-chorus, which is sung with solo, is very formation dependent. So we're going to start from Chan solo, following Sungman as a reference. So this is a pretty short section, only 16 counts. We're going to start with our body kind of angled towards the right diagonal a little bit. And then they're going to have their hands with their fingers pointing out. And they're going to start kind of with their left hand towards the front and the right hand a little bit towards the right, like this. This is on 1. And then on 1 hand, you're going to raise up your elbows a little bit and point your hands more outward, like this. And you want some bending in your knees as well, here. So this is 1 and then you just keep repeating that for a few counts. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, and on 3 and, now your arms are going to go way high and your head is going to kind of duck down a little bit. And then yeah, after they do that, then on 4, you're going to jump in so your feet are closer and your hands are down by your side. And during this pointing part, the members are in a circle, so they're pointing in different directions facing outward. So again, to review, it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then on 5, your left knee is going to raise up and your right hand is going to start to do kind of like a wave motion onto your chest. So it's going to be 5, and then on 5 and, your left foot will step down quickly and then your right foot will go out to the right side. As you do that, your body is going to turn towards the left and your right hand will kind of end up on your chest. This is a very fast move, so it's easier if you kind of keep your weight more on your left leg during these moves. So it's going to be 5 and, okay, and then on 6, then your body's going to turn towards the front and your left foot will step in. Then 7 and 8, your feet are going to take steps towards the right, so you're going to step right, left, right. And as you do those steps, your right hand is going to make circles away from your chest. So it's going to make a circle and then another circle and hit out. So it's going to be 7 and 8. And then during those movements, their left hand is kind of in different places. Some people grab their belt, some people kind of have on their waist. So let's review those 8 counts with counts slowly. So it's going to be 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Okay? Okay, so moving on. After we do the right hand circle out, then on 1, we're going to step with our left foot towards the front, and our right foot is going to kind of be in the back and raise up. And this is another formation change, so the members are going in different directions too. But for someone, he's going to step with his left foot, raise his right foot, and his left hand is going to swing down and push up towards the front with his palm facing forward. This is on 1, and then on 2, then the right foot will set down, and your right hand will come up kind of like a pointer finger, and someone kind of has it raised up in the air and pointed a little bit towards the right side like this. Then on 3, we can just do another step with our left foot, and then the arms are going to do a big circle rotation. So they're going to rotate out like this. So your arms are going to rotate in a counterclockwise direction on 3, and then on 3 and, you're going to make a plus sign in front of your body like this. So your left hand is pointing up, and your right hand is behind it, pointing to the side. Then on 4, we can just bring our arms down since they're all in a different formation, and we're going to switch to following Hyunjin for the next part. To review the arms for that, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And with counts as well and feet, we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the feet doesn't really matter as much for this part because they're just changing formations, so you can take extra steps if you want. After we're here, we're gonna switch to following Hyunjin. He's gonna be the one doing the solo, the knocking part, okay? So on 5, he's gonna lean towards the right. Chan is right in front of him, so he's gonna lean towards the right, kind of peeking out. And with his right hand, he's gonna make 4 knocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is a triplet rhythm, so it's gonna be triplet 6, okay? And knocking with his knuckles kind of pointing towards the front. After he does those knocks, then on 7, 8, he's gonna lean towards the left side and use his hand to move Chan out of the way. So we can just kind of push someone out of the way like that. That's 7, 8. And when Hyunjin moves Chan aside, this is the buzzer sound in the music. Let's review that 8 count of the pre-chorus. That was 1, 2, 3, and 4, triplet 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now let's do the whole pre-chorus with counts as well before we move on into the chorus. So starting from here, it's going to be 7, 8, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8, 1, 2, 3, and 4, triplet 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 1, 2, 3 and 4, triplet 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 1, 2, 3 and 4, triplet 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 1, 2, 3 and 4, triplet 6, 7, 8.
Alright, so now we're at the chorus. Time to learn some tutting. We move Chan aside, and then for this next part. And for this part, I'm mainly following IN for the moves. Well, we're going to do the feet first since the feet are more repetitive. So on 1, you're going to jump out wide with your feet, and then you're going to start shifting your knees with each half beat. So it's going to be 1, and 2, and 3, and then just keep repeating it like that. So after you jump, you're going to go to the right on 1 and, left on 2, right on 2 and then just keep repeating that. So that's going to keep going on while we do the tutting in the hands. So we're going to focus on the hands for now. So on 1, when your feet jump out, you're going to do a quick kind of wing flap with your elbows. You hit with your elbows down and then quickly bring them out to the side. This is 1, and then on 1 and you wait. 2, your head will tilt to the right. 2 and, now your elbows will tilt to the diagonal side as well, so your whole body is kind of tilted like this. Then on 3, your hands will come together so that your left arm is over your right arm. And I think some of the members have flat hands here to make the next part easier, but some people also just keep their hands like this. So whatever is easier for you. But we're going to have our left over our right on 3 and, then we're going to do like a classic cutting move where we're going to make a box. So basically you make a box like this. So your left hand is pointed here, and then your right hand is pointed like this. So both of your hands are pointed out, and it's going to be over on top of each other to make a box. So again, to review the arms, that's going to be 7, 8, 1, and 2, and 3, and, okay? Then on 4, your hands will become fists again, and your right hand will go above your head, and your left hand will kind of stay around your chest area. So from here, we kind of make our fists and switch our arms. So this move matches the synth hit in the music, so it's kind of around B4, so whatever is easier for you, you can either use count 4 to hit it, or you can listen to the music for when to hit this pose. So we're here, and then on 4 and, our head is going to look to the left. This is where Felix says hey in the music, so we're going to look to the left. And then on 5, So for 5, Hyunjin is going to look back at the front to do his solo part, but for everyone else, they're still looking at the left. So we're still looking at the left, and we're going to bring our elbows more out to the side. So our right elbow will go to the right, left elbow to the left. So just kind of jab out on 5. This 5 jabbing motion also matches one of the bass synth hits. There's a really fat bass synth noise that happens on this count. This is 5. And on 6 and 7, we're going to hit with our fist, right fist, 3 times at the front. So 6 and 7, still looking at the left. And then on 7 and 8 and, now our head is going to switch to the right. This is where Hyunjin says, come inside now. And then our right fist is going to make 3 circles like this. So it's going to make circles away from our body really fast. Okay, as we look at the right side. And while we're doing these fist circles, our feet before this part had been shifting right, left, right like that. But now they're just going to kind of bounce in place while we do these circles. So it's just going to bounce in place 3 times. So that is all of the arms for the tutting part. So let's just review that really slowly with counts. Again, just the arms. It's going to be 7, 8, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and. Okay, so that's the arms super slowly. Now let's add that on with the feet. Again, very slowly. So we move Sean aside, and it's going to be 7, 8, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and. Okay, so very hard to put together, but if you kind of figure out the arms and then slowly add the feet in, that's kind of what helped me when I was learning this part. So again, let's do that one more time, a little bit faster. So we're going to be 7, 8, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and. Okay, so that's the tutting part, probably the hardest part of this chorus. We're going to move on. After you do this part, now this is the knocking part, okay? So our hands are going to come down like this. So our palms are facing us, and our elbows are just straight vertical. When we bring it down here, this is on 1, and then for this next part, they kind of do some like hip circles. So they kind of pulse to the right with each beat. So it's kind of 1, 2, 3, 4. They're kind of like that with their feet. And as they do that, they bring down their fists on 1, and then they do 4 knocks. So it's going to be knock with your right up, left, right, and then left. So you kind of knock right corner, right side, left side, like this. And these are kind of very lazy knocks as well, so it's just kind of like very fluid motion. Hyunjin, for this solo part, he also does like these head bobbles, but for us, we'll just kind of keep it more straightforward. So for the counts for that, that's going to roughly be 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, but again, the 4th hit is a tiny bit syncopated, so it starts right before count 4. So you can listen for the music, or you can use count 4 as an approximation. So with the hands and the hips together, for that part, it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay? And then on 4 and, your hands are going to make a big circle out, and then hit down on 5, facing the ground. As you do that, you're going to step, your right foot is going to step to the left to join your left foot on count 5. So from here, it's going to be 4 and 5. Okay, and your body is angled towards the left diagonal. And when they do the hand circle, their head will nod up. When they hit down, their head will nod back down. So it's just going to be and 5, like that. And then after this, they do formation change, so they get into their new formation for the bridge tunnel part. And the move during formation change, they kind of have their left hand up by their mouth. So it's kind of on the right side of their mouth with making an L, and then pointing towards the right side. and as they move, they're going to do 3 quick punches with their right hand towards the left waist. So they're going to punch 3 times. This is going to be 6 and 7. Okay, as they take 3 steps to move into the new formation. Then coming in, they're just getting ready for the bridge part, so we can just kind of rest for a beat. But again, let's do that 8 count with counts. And so from the knocking part, it's going to be 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8. So let's do all 16 counts of the chorus now with counts, pretty slowly again for the tutting part. After we move chant out of the way, it's going to be 7, 8, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8. Okay, so that was the chorus. We just have a few more counts of the hook to learn. Just to briefly explain, if you wanted to do the doorway tent part. So for example, Chan, he's going to start out facing the front, I think. And so he's going to have his right hand up, left hand on his back, and then shift with his feet. Left, right, okay? So it's going to be 1 and 2 and then switch, and then take a few steps and switch. So now if he's facing the back side, then do the same thing and then switch. So that's just kind of the moves for the tent part. They just continuously do that as other members move through the doorways. So we're going to be following Lino, who is the first one to move through the doorway. And so the moves are pretty repetitive. Basically, we're going to have our left hand by our mouth, kind of like how we did it before. And then our right fist is going to hit to the front a bunch of times. It's going to be 1 and 2 and 3. As we do that, we're going to take 3 slow steps towards the front with left, right, left. And I have very small space, so I can't really move forward, but for all the members, they're moving forward a lot, and they're in a diagonal line, so they're kind of facing towards the left diagonal and moving forward like this direction. But for the purposes of the tutorial, I'll just be doing this facing the front. So it's going to be left, right, left, okay? Then after take those steps on 3 and, we're going to take 3 small steps with our feet. So it's going to be right, left, right, okay? And to do that, you kind of bend their knees more with each step. And their hands, after doing these hits, these are very fast movements, but for Lino, he basically kind of has his hands on his chest, moving upwards, so from here to here to here, and his elbows will flap outwards with each hit. It's not very precise, so it's kind of more about the power and the overall feel of the move, but it's going to go 3 and 4, 4 and, so something similar to that. So again, with the feet as well, that looks like 3 and 4, 4 and, something like that. And then just repeat the move again. So going back to the fist hitting part. So we do 2.5 cycles of that. So slowly with counts, let's review that part. It's going to be 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so that's the number of times that he repeats the moves. Then on 4, your feet are going to jump in, and Lino's going to bend over, and his hands are going to come out in a circle. And then as he bends over, his left hand is kind of on his waist, on his chest, and his right hand is on his back. So we're getting ready to the bow. This is 4 and 5. We stand up straight. We're having the bow position. And then on 6, our feet jump out wide, and we bend over again. Then the rest of the 8 count is preparing for verse 2, so we won't learn in this tutorial, but that's kind of where we stop for the hook. So just to review the whole hook with counts, it's going to be 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6.
Triplet 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. Triplet 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. Triplet 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6.
And that's going to be it for this tutorial, so let's go ahead and review the pre-chorus, chorus, and hook all together with counts before we add it on with music, 80%, 90%, and then 100% speed. Alright, so from the pre-chorus with counts, this is Chon's solo in the pre-chorus. Okay, so we're going to be here, it's going to be 7, 8, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8, 1, 2, 3, and 4, triplet 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 1, 2, 3 and 4, triplet 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 1, 2, 3 and 4, triplet 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 1, 2, 3 and 4, triplet 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6.
들리는 음악 소리 내 목소리가 터지도록 외쳐 멈칫 할 시간 따윈 없어 광기 잡아 초리 금지 여긴 backward 광기 잡아 초리 금지 여긴 backward 광기 잡아 초리 금지 여긴 backward 광기 대가 되고 싶다면
Great, so that was the tutorial for Backdoor. Next, I'll try working on a tutorial for X, one of the B-sides from the In Life album, as well as the album range vocal chart for this album too.